Watch for Akademiks and check it out. So, let me let y'all know. So, xXXTentacion, okay, it's a weird phenomenon, all right? I've said on my live stream, and I'll continue to say, it's amazing that this guy, he gains more and more buzz by being locked up than, in my estimation, that he'll probably gain by being free, okay? The longer he remains locked up, the more his buzz increases. He's not putting out new songs. The songs of his that are thriving and flourishing are pretty much like 1 to 2 years old. However, people want this guy. They want that energy. They kind of like him, and they want to find out more and more about him. And a lot of times, being quiet and letting people actually do the talking and also do the searching or researching about you gets your buzz up. And seems to be the case with xXXTentacion, because a lot of people are trying to figure out what's going on with him. Now, when he does get out, who knows where it goes, okay? Maybe he gets bigger, pause, or maybe it's kind of like a Boosie thing where people are hyped about you for a couple of months. After you get out, then it's like, okay. All right, and even Gucci, everybody's hyped in when you're locked up, free him, and then when you're released, it's like, okay, cool, I'm glad he's out, and then after a while, it's like, okay. Now, Gucci hasn't got to that phase yet, but you know what I'm talking about. However, xXXTentacion recently did an interview with xxXL, and he's talking about a lot of things, including the recent controversy about Drake allegedly taking his flow on a snippet, which supposedly is going to be a More Life. All right, if you guys don't know, you got to get over to my Instagram or latenightcreeps.com, and you will hear the snippet off a song that Drake got, and basically it sounds a lot like a slowed down version of xXXTentacion's Look At Me. Now, this is what X said to xxXL. They did an interview with him while in jail. He says, I'm going to address this whole situation. I have the utmost respect for Drake as an artist. I have respect for everyone as an artist. Now, I'm aware of what Drake does as an artist. I'm aware of what any smart artist does, because it's one of the laws of the universe. If you study Albert Einstein, he says a great artist never reveals their source. How do I feel about the whole Drake situation? As if he used the flow, by all means, it's whatever. It's not that serious. My whole perception has changed, but if Drake is gonna take the flow, and I don't know if legitimately he did, but if that's the situation, at least reach out to a nigga. Help a nigga out in this situation. And then if you want to run off with the flow, then run off with the flow. But I'm going through a lot right now, so it'd be nice if before that happened to me, for Drake to reach out to me personally. He could have reached out to me personally and spoke to me, and it definitely would have been more respectable. But he dropped that preview, and it sounded a bit like Look At Me. And he could be a huge, huge help in this situation to get me out of jail, because I'm facing life. So that's just how I feel. If you're going to take the flow, reach out to me, help me out, then take the flow, because helping me out would have been more important. But if he took it, kudos, that's lit. It's Drake. Doesn't bother me as much as people think it does, but it's lit at the end of the day, because that's a huge artist, so it just gives me the motivation to see how big I'm gonna be. My whole intention is being the biggest artist there ever was or currently is, okay? Now, as far as this, I gotta say he had a pretty mature response to this whole thing with Drake, okay? He didn't come off like a bitter artist, like, yo, he took my shit, fuck Drake, or we saw how Kodak Black even reacted to Drake dancing to his music, right? He's basically saying, hey, listen, if he took the flow, whatever, I'm not really stressing over the flow, but if he was inspired by me, yo, dog, help me out a bit. Like, I'm in a fucked up position. And I think that's a fair assessment. I think, again, he's also fair in his assessment of saying, hey, if Drake is kind of what I've been reading and studying about, like a great artist, he's probably not going to admit that he took that from me. He's just going to run with it, and that is what it is. However, I'm not going to be mad about it, but it would be really nice if he did use me as influence. If you could just reach out to me and help me out in whatever way he can, because the situation I'm facing where I'm really battling for my freedom is much more warranted for help than actually credit for the goddamn flow, okay? And obviously, this is a guy who's been in jail for a long while, and, yo, he's stressed out. He's stressed out, and of course he wants to get out, and of course, like, seeing so many people embrace him now probably feels even more frustrating, because he's locked in a place where he can't get out immediately, or he doesn't really control his own fate, and he's kind of waiting for others to kind of tell him what he will be able to do. So he just wants people to reach out. Again, who knows if Drake really took the flow, but of course, I kind of agree with him. If Drake did take his flow or was inspired by his flow, whatever lingo you want to say, Drake should have reached out, all right? Definitely. I ain't say Drake could get a nigga out of jail, but at least reach out. Maybe you could use your resources to help him, lawyers, whatever, okay? Again, It's only if you're inspired by the guy. All right, get in the comment box. What you guys like them and subscribe. What do you guys think about the situation? Let me know. I'm